Hello friends, welcome to HTML tutorial series. Let me right click on the first page .html, open with Firefox. In the previous tutorial, we have understood how do we display some content in the bold format, how do we display some content in italic format, how do we display some content underlined, how do we use the strong tag to display the content in bold format, how do we use EM tag to display the content in italicized or emphasized format. Let me right click once again on the first page .html, open with the notepad to see the source code. This is the source code. We have understood in the previous tutorial that we use B tag to display the text in a bold format, we use I tag to display the text in a italic format, we use the U tag to display the text in an underlined format. We can use the strong tag in place of a B tag to display the text in the bold format. We can use the EM tag to display the text in the italic format. In place of I tag, I can use the EM tag. And you can see that bold, italic, underlined, strong and EM tag are paired tags. That is the reason they have opening tag and the closing tag. You can see that. And whereas the BR tag, which is a break tag, and the break tag is unpaired tag or a standalone tag. It has opening and the closing tag in the same tag itself. In this tutorial, we are going to understand more tags, more text formatting tags. So, I am going to delete this code from here. I press Ctrl S to save and refresh. You can see that we don't have any content in the browser now because we don't have anything in the body tag. So let's begin. I write here hi HTML exclamation mark. I save this and press refresh. We can see here hi HTML exclamation mark. Or I want to display hi HTML exclamation mark in the bold format. So how do we do that? We know that we are going to use the B tag before the H and we close the B tag after the exclamation mark so that the browser can understand this is the beginning, this is the ending. So once I save that and come back and refresh, we know that we got the text hi HTML exclamation mark displayed in the bold format. Next, I am going to write hi HTML exclamation mark and I save this by pressing Ctrl S and refresh. We got hi HTML exclamation mark. Now what I want this hi HTML exclamation mark should go to the next line. So what I need to do? I am going to use the BR tag. So I am going to here I am going to write BR tag. I save this file and refresh. You can see that hi HTML exclamation mark moved to the next line. What I can do means I can put this content in little bit formatted way. So I move this BR down. I press the tab key to move this B tag little bit inside. Similarly, I can move this BR tag also by pressing the tab key. Then I have this hi HTML exclamation over here. If I save this, there will be no change. There will be no change. You can see that I am getting the same output. Now what I want this text to get displayed in the italic format. So how do we do that? I am going to write the I tag just before that H character. Then I am going to say closing I tag here. I save this and refresh. You can see that hi HTML exclamation mark got displayed in the italic format. What I do, I move this to the next line. I save this and refresh. We are going to see the same output. There will be no change. Then again I can say hi HTML exclamation mark and save this. If I save this, we know that hi HTML exclamation mark will get displayed here. If I refresh, you can see that it has got displayed in front of the previous italicized hi HTML exclamation mark. So I need to move this content to the next line. So how do we do that? We can use the BR tag. So what I can do means I can hit enter and I can write here the BR tag and I hit enter, save this and refresh. You can see that we have hi HTML exclamation mark in the next line. I want this text to be underlined. So how do we do that? I am going to use the U tag. The U tag just before the H, after the exclamation mark I am going to close the U tag. And I save this and refresh. We got the hi HTML exclamation mark underlined. Now what I want, I am going to display once again hi HTML exclamation mark. I save this and refresh. We know that it will get displayed in front of this content. So I need to move that to the next line. All I need is I need a BR tag. Save and refresh. We got the content in the next line. You can see that. Then I move this to the next line. Now what I want now is I want to display this hi HTML exclamation mark to be bold as well as underlined. How do we do that? Now here comes the nesting of tags. You can nest one tag inside another tag. You can see that the head tag is inside the HTML tag. The body tag is also inside the HTML tag, whereas B tag is now in the body tag. That means you can put one tag inside another tag. That is possible. Let's see. Here I have hi HTML exclamation mark. First thing, I want to display it in the bold format. So how do we do that? I can use the B tag just before the H, and I can close the B tag so that this text should get displayed in the bold format. If I save this and refresh, we know that we got the text. Here you can see that hi HTML exclamation mark got displayed in the bold format. Next, I also want this text to be displayed in italic format or underlined format. How do we do that? After the opening B tag, I am going to write the opening U tag. You can see that. After the opening B tag, I have written the opening U tag, and before the closing B tag, I am going to write the closing U tag. If I save now, what happens means this hi HTML exclamation mark will get affected by the bold, that is the B tag, as well as the U tag, that is underlined. So now your text will get displayed in the bold as well as underlined format. And one of the things you need to note here is the first open tag should be closed last. Next open tag should be closed before the last closing tag. So whichever you have opened first, that should be closed last. This order you should follow. This order you should not forget. Now let's see one more example. Now I am going to break here so that I can get the content in the next line. Break. Then below here I am going to write hi HTML exclamation mark. Now I want this text should get displayed in the bold as well as italic format. How do we display that one? Let's see. First I will do italic. So I want to display this hi HTML exclamation mark in the italic format. If I refresh only this much, I get hi HTML exclamation mark. So first I am going to write I tag before the H. After the exclamation mark, I am going to close the I tag, Control X and refresh. I got this in the italic format. Now I want this text should be displayed in the underlined also. So how do we do that? After the opening I tag, I am going to write the opening U tag so that I can get the underlined text. Then before the closing I tag, I am going to write the closing U tag. And you can see that I have followed the order. I maintained the order. I opened I first and closed the I last. Next I opened the U tag. Before the last I closed the U tag. So I save this and refresh. You can see that now this text is italic and underlined. Let's see one more example. I have a BR closing. Then I am going to say here hi HTML exclamation mark. I save this and refresh. I got hi HTML exclamation mark, a normal text. Now I want this to get displayed in the bold, italic as well as underline. So how do we do that? Let's begin with the bold. So I write here B tag, Then I write a closing B tag, save this and refresh. It has got displayed bold. Let's display that in the italic format. So I open the I tag, then I close the I tag before the closing B tag. I save this and refresh. You can see that it has got displayed bold as well as italic. And after the opening I tag, I write the opening U tag. Before the closing I tag, I close the U tag. I save this and refresh. You can see that this text has got displayed now in bold, italic as well as underlined. All three formats are applied to this text. So you need to remember this. This is how you can write your content if you arrange it in this way. I'm just formatting the content so that you people can understand what we are doing here. I save this and refresh to get the same output, no problem. By seeing this format, you can very easily say that we have opened the B tag here, we close the B tag last. Next we open the I tag, just before the last we close the I tag. Next we have opened the U tag, next we have closed the U tag. So this order you should follow. This is known as nesting of tags. You can write one tag inside another tag to give more effect or to apply more format on your content. So hope you guys have understood how do we nest one tag inside another tag and what order we need to follow while writing the tags. For this tutorial, I think this much is enough, friends. In the next tutorial, we understand more things. So thank you guys. Thank you very much. See you in the next tutorial. Keep learning, keep coding, keep sharing. Please like, comment, subscribe and share.